We hear a lot of things about change in behaviors of consumers and customers in general. Because of technology, because of the crisis, or because in general the society is changing fast. So does it change something for marketers?
Yes, of course, because as we said already, marketing is about creating and delivering satisfaction to customers and consumers. And basically, in marketing, that's the first thing you have to do, is really understand what's going on with your customers and potential customers. So if they are changing, you have to change something too. Now, basically, when we do this kind of what we call customer behavior analysis, we look at all the elements that can motivate a buying decision. It can be special needs or some expectations. It can be society factor. There are many things that can explain why you choose a product and a brand versus another product and another brand. It's a very complex process. It takes into account your culture. It takes into account the information you get on the internet. It takes into account also, of course, the general trends in the society. There are some trends that you can find everywhere in the world, and like the green trend that influence consumers everywhere. So all this comes into account in the decision-making process, and it's quite complex. So at the end of it, as marketers, we have to understand but we have to make it simple, because in order to be practical and to be able to have some reasonable proposition, we need to come out of that complexity to make something that is simpler. And that's the point about consumer behavior theory and practice.
So what are the most significant changes in consumers' behaviors in the last 10 years?
Well, first of all, people want perfect products and they want an increased level of service. Customers are very demanding in any sector, being consumers or professional customers. They always want more. Another point is that people want to find some sense in their life, and they want brands that will bring some sense. They just don't want to be kind of the instrument of a brand. They want to have a relationship with a brand which is true and authentic. So that's something you can find also everywhere. And another point is that people want price. They want cheaper price always. So they want more for a cheaper price. And that you can find in Vietnam, but you can find also in any country in the world. They want excitement. They don't want to, they want to be excited. They have so many opportunities, so they're focusing on brands or companies that excite them. And another thing, of course, it's the emergence of social media. They communicate all the time, and consumers and customers also take the lead in the relationship. In the past, the relationship was, I would say, controlled by the brands and the suppliers, and today it has shifted towards customers and consumers who get the power back through the internet and the social media and the communities and all that. And it's a major change.
How do they use their power? How do they do that?
Well, they use their power in negotiating better.
So they have a lot of more options. So they have negotiation.
Yeah, they have more options. And in the past, consumers could not really negotiate except on the market. But through the internet, you have some websites that compare prices that helps you they do the job for you. And so this is also a major change. People are more educated. So they take the time to look at the different alternatives. This being said, what is really interesting to see also is that although they are more rational, they use their reason more, they become also more emotional.
Well, that's really interesting that they happen at the same time.
Well, it's really interesting. It's a question of time. Actually, we have all the tools to be perfect rational buyers, but we don't have the time to look at all this. So we kind of have quick looks about, data. And actually, when we have to choose, we come back to our feelings, the reputation, what we feel, what your friends told you to do. And so emotions, are still very important. So I would say that reason has increased and emotions at the same time.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting. Yeah.